Hey everybody, Frugal Farmer here. This is a early dismissal pass and kind of like the ones we had when I was in high school. Well, leave it to my buddy Craig. This one teacher, she had hall passes and she had a stamp with her signature on it. And somehow Craig he wouldn't take the whole board, but he'd pull a lot of it off. And he'd stamp and he'd do others like that, and he'd go to her room and stamp those up without her knowledge. And her it would be right there on the signature line. And ours were very easy. There was this being done. It was just rampant the way it was being done. But anyway, we'd leave, go to lunch, come back, because if we were caught going out, we always walked out separately, and we'd meet up at the car so it didn't look suspicious. And sometimes I'd pick him up on the other side of school building or whatever we had to do. And for all the madness, there was a plan at times. Well, we were going out one day, and I got stopped by the assistant principal and Mr. W. Well, the hard thing was Mr. W grew up right around the corner from where I grew up at, so our families knew each other. I knew his mom, dad, sister, niece and nephew, and I even knew his wife and all her people. And just show you how small area it was. He looked at it. He said, "We're going to have to check this out." He said, "Did you stamp this?" Yeah, sure I did. He said, "Why'd you stamp it?" I said, "I don't like those lunches, and I want to go get something to eat at McDonald's." And back then, that was when the quarter pounder was at its peak before they changed the meat ingredients, whatever they did to it. Well, he looked at me for a minute, gave me the pass back actually, and he said, "Bring me a quarter pounder back then." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, I didn't have a whole lot of money back then, so I had to dig into the ashtray. I made Craig uh, pony up some money, and he was glad to. And we figured we were going to have, undercover people zooming in on us when we pulled back into the parking lot. So we got up there, uh, got a quarter pounder of cheese in another bag, and I kind of folded up so you couldn't tell what it was. I went to his office and gave it to him, and he'd seen me leaving from then on. I didn't do it every day, but there was a lot of days I was doing it. So as long as we had a supply of passes, I was doing it. And he just nodded his head. And for a while there, I didn't know if I was supposed to get another quarter pounder with cheese or what that deal was, if that was ongoing payment or how that worked out. But gosh, we'd leave early and never got caught at it. It's the thing about it, never really. I mean, we'd go get something to eat, and then we were back at school. And sometimes we had our passes where we could leave for the whole day. And I was trying to remember the teacher's name who we used her signature so much. But and there was another story with Mr. McCall. We had a guy bring a rifle to school. This was the first time for a long time I ever knew anybody ever bringing a gun to school. Well, he was on the front side of the school, and everybody was running that way. I said, "What's going on?" They said, "The guy's got a rifle out there." I said, "Well, I don't need to see no rifle." So some classes were still going on because we had like 2 or 3 different lunch periods. So I went up the back stairs where my locker was, which I normally did that anyway. And see if I can get that picture back. And this teacher called me. Well, her name was Miss F. And God, she just let me have it. She said, "You're in big trouble." It wasn't like I was up there, stealing anything. I was just trying to get to my locker and go early to my next class, I didn't want to be near that rifle. And I told her, I said, ma'am, there's somebody with a rifle in front of the building, and I'm going on to the classroom that I'll be having. And I told her which room it was and all. And she had to take my name. And I gave her my real name. And so, office would I be called into? Mr. McCall's. And I went in there and explained the situation to him. And he said, yeah, he said, I remember that day. And he said, you were going to class and you were in there? I said, yes, sir. And he checked my schedule. And I was always pretty straight up with him because I didn't want to, if I was going to get clipped, I didn't mind getting clipped. I just didn't want him to say, well, he lied to me. And he checked it out and he said, don't worry about it. And he said, are you getting out early today? So I'm in there for one thing already. He's wanting me to admit to something else. And he looked at me, he could tell I was. He said, all right, give me another quarter pounder. So I paid for him, but evidently I was somehow the Hamburglar. And the funny thing about it is I worked at McDonald's when I was in high school and went on to be a manager when I was in college. And I got burnt out on fast food. And somebody else can do it. I'll cook at home, and hopefully they'll have competitive cooking contest again at some point. Thanks for stopping by. Come back again when you will. Share, comment, like, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for listening to Old Man's Ramblings.